Shedeur Sanders is itching to get out there, folks. Did you see his face last Sunday when the Browns were getting blown out and Gabriel checked in? He wants to play. We got to talk about the plan for Shedeur. Will he play for the Browns this season? We've got lots of insight you're not going to want to miss. I'm your host, Joey O'Donohue. Welcome into the Browns Report, folks. The first question we're asking, are the Cleveland Browns making the wrong move by starting Dillon Gabriel and naming Joe Flacco as the backup, keeping Shedeur Sanders at quarterback 3? Is this a mistake? Shedeur Sanders, I would imagine, thinks so. He said a couple days ago, I'm ready to play right now. I know if you see the quarterbacks in the league right now, I know I'm capable of doing better than that. He's saying he's looking at the starting quarterbacks in the NFL, and he could do better. I actually think he's right. Only because of how bad some other starting quarterbacks in the NFL are and how good of a prospect Shedeur was entering the NFL draft. I think there's an argument to be made here that he could be a starter. Let's look at some of the worst quarterbacks around the league. Joe Flacco's number 1. Cam Ward is playing awful for Tennessee. Jake Browning, I don't even know how you can justify Browning being a starting quarterback. Obviously only the case because Joe Burrow went down, but you could get a better backup than that. I was watching the game. Jamar Chase was wide open on every play, and Browning just doesn't look his way. Spencer Rattler, terrible. Tua, okay, Tua's had his moments, but he's not a great quarterback either. Bryce Young, also not been playing too well for the Panthers as a whole. I think there's at least 3-4 names on this list where you could say, and Shedeur should confidently be saying that he would be better than. If you're not better than some of these guys, you shouldn't be in the NFL. None of these will be NFL starters, or some of these won't be NFL starters in no time. So before we get into more of the news, do you think Shedeur could start in the NFL right now? For any team, for the Browns, for one of those bad teams I just showed you, type Y for yes if you think Shedeur's telling the truth. He could start in the league right now. Type N for no if you think he's not ready. Maybe you don't think he has the chops, the talent to do it. You let me know in the comments right now, folks. Now, the media tried asking Shedeur today about him being named quarterback 3. And I won't say he refused the answer, but, I mean, did you guys see this clip? He just started miming answers. He didn't say anything. He just mouthed words and didn't really talk. My thoughts on this. Oh, sorry. My thoughts on this. I actually am not a fan of it from Shedeur. And you guys know I usually hype him up. I justify him. I didn't like this response. I think most people would have wanted him to see an approach of a little more vulnerability, a little more, I'm going to work hard, I'm going to earn my way up this depth chart, because we know he's confident. We know he thinks he should be a starting quarterback. We just showed you his quote. We know he thinks he's a franchise guy. So back it up, take it on the chin, and say, I'm going to work my way up. And I just didn't love the, make a little joke out of it. It seems like he's upset about not being named not only the starter, but not the backup. So this is the one thing where I would have liked to see Shedeur at least, give us a more leadership type of comment instead of miming the response. But the big question is, for the Shedeur fans, will this benefit Shedeur in the long run? Are the Browns doing him dirty by keeping him quarterback 3 for the time being? You could say yes. But in the long run, for Shedeur's plan as a guy that wants to take over the franchise, could this be a good thing to sit back, learn, watch the other quarterbacks in front of you fail? We already watched Flacco fail. We'll see how Gabriel does. We are rooting for both rookies here on the Browns Report. But maybe this will help him up. There's something about the buildup. There's something about that anticipation. When you're a competitive guy like Shedeur who wants to get out there, and you're sitting on the sidelines week after week watching an offense that sucks, there's something that kind of eases your nerves and motivates you a little bit more. It's a good thing to be a little bit patient. Everybody likes a little bit of foreplay before you. Well, that's a weird analogy. But there's just something about the build-up before the main event. If Shedeur was just thrown right into this fire with all the hype around him, and listen, the Cleveland Browns have been a dumpster fire for quarterbacks for years. Reed's still laughing at me for my comment back there. If he was just thrown into the fire with all the eyes on him, if he was the number 1 overall pick, it would probably be harder to succeed. Think about how much pressure's on you at that point. How many people want you to fail? It's a little bit of tables turned here now. Now, everybody wants to see you get out there because they've talked about you so much. And picture this. It's late in the season. Shedeur has been eager to play. It's week 5, and he's talking about how he needs to play right now. He feels like he's better than quarterback starting. He wants this so bad. And if you don't give it to him, it builds up. It's going to motivate him. Everyone's calling for him to start. He gets in there, and I think extra motivation is good for a quarterback of his competitive nature. And this is kind of just true in life as a whole. When things are handed to you, it's harder to be grateful for them. But I think could get out there and actually take advantage when he finally gets that first start now, with all the buildup, with all that extra motivation. I think it's good. Baker Mayfield always played better when he had a chip on his shoulder for the Cleveland Browns. Everybody remembers that. They would not start him after drafting him first overall. They started Tyrod Taylor. The Browns continuously do this. And when Taylor had an injury, Baker came in. He came back, beat the Jets. It was electric. Seemed like we had found our guy. It's whenever he had a chip on his shoulder that he played better. You see this with competitive quarterbacks like Baker, like Shedeur. But now, Cleveland, in their depth chart, has Gabriel as the starter and Flacco as the 2. They might not even activate Shedeur this Sunday. They haven't activated him at all this season. He's just been the emergency third quarterback. And so, I got to be honest, I don't think Dillon Gabriel is our long-term answer. I think it's an improvement of what we've been watching, but I never evaluated him and watched this film and said, that's a guy that's going to change the franchise. No, I think this potentially could be a good to average backup quarterback in the NFL or decent starting quarterback. I think it'll be better than what we have. Like I said, what we've seen with Flacco has just been about as bad as it can get, turnover-wise. I think it'll be better, but not forever for Dillon. I think he completes short passes, accurate intermediate passes. He can do enough for the Browns right now because our defense is so good, we might not need to score as many points. So I think it'll be good for Dillon right now. I don't know if he's the answer for the future. And for Shedeur, the people that want to see him get in, this might not be the perfect timing, pun intended. There's a lot wrong with Cleveland's offense. It's kind of hard to throw any rookie out there to start week 1. This is why I was always team start Flacco week 1 and then turn to the rookies. Cleveland finally doing something that I recommended them to do. But look at Cleveland's issues right now. On the offensive line, their pass block win rate percentage is 27th in the NFL. One of the worst in the league. Our starting tackles last week, Cornelius Lucas and KT Leviston, they rank 57th and 61st in pass block win rate out of 66 qualifying tackles. Yeah, that's right, 57 and 61st out of 66 tackles. Some of the worst in the league. And on top of all that, receivers are dropping passes. So it's hard to put a quarterback, a young quarterback especially, in that offense right now. It might be a good thing for Shedeur to wait on the sidelines before getting his opportunity. For the people that want to see him succeed, this could benefit him going forward to not get the opportunity till later for all the reasons I presented. And there was one knock on Shedeur coming into the draft in preseason, is that he holds on to the ball too long. Maybe he doesn't deal with pressure too well. Starts to drop back instead of step up into the pocket, and he took some big sacks in the Rams game. An offensive line that's terrible isn't going to help his success. Now, to be fair to Shedeur in that Rams game, he had 4-string offensive linemen. That's a fact. And the Browns' offensive line is bad. Well, think about 4 guys that weren't even good enough to make this Browns offensive line right now. Of course, Shedeur was going to be constantly pressured, running for his life, and probably have bad numbers no matter what. But I do think there will be some extra juice with a new quarterback. Gabriel will bring some life to this offense. It's fun to watch a rookie go out there. It's exciting. We all should be excited about it, folks. But to the point of ESPN Cleveland's Tony Rizzo, he says, I just can't unsee the Panthers game. There were 2 pinpoint touchdown passes in that preseason game. You have the polarizing opposite of the Rams game and the Panthers game from Shedeur's preseason. Well, this was a dime for his first touchdown through 2 Panthers defenders. It looked like we were watching a star being born. Touchdown number 2. There's a defender right in Shedeur's face. There's no time for him to make this play. He has to make it now. And what does he do? Slides over to the right. Amani Marshall made an amazing pickup block, running back, who's not on our active roster anymore either. Shedeur did well with his feet. He extended the play and then throws an absolute dime to the end zone. Touchdown, Browns. 2 beautiful passes that we saw. And those are where we saw the flashes. But everybody likes to argue and say the Rams game shows he's not an NFL quarterback. The Panthers game shows he's going to be a star. It is the most polarizing topic in the Browns quarterback room right now. Everyone's talking about 12. The bottom line for Cleveland, we want a franchise quarterback. We need to evaluate both of the rookies before the next NFL draft. If Cleveland says Gabriel is the better quarterback, okay, cool. I'm a Browns fan. Let's watch what he can do. Let's see Andrew Berry, Kevin Stefanski's evaluation of quarterbacks, which has not always been great. But let's see it. They're going to Gabriel next, no matter what we say. I just think they should play both. Shedeur should get in eventually, because if you go into next year still needing a quarterback and you haven't seen the 2 rookies that you drafted, what do? You're going to bring a third rookie into the mix? It doesn't make sense. Let's see both of them at some point. I give Gabriel 4 to 6 games to show us what he can do. And now, look, if Gabriel starts balling out and he's clearly the guy of the future, well, then we won't have anything to say. But I don't think that'll be the case. And Shedeur should be at least moved up to the backup spot. Now, Cleveland at least drafted Shedeur, unlike all the other teams in the NFL. So, a lot of people do like to get on the Browns and say they're screwing over Shedeur because he's not playing for them. At least to the team that gave him a chance, and he can earn that chance going forward because of the uncertainty in the Browns quarterback room. Now, Kevin Stefanski was asked if Shedeur would back up Gabriel. He said Joe Flacco will. Hopefully this isn't the case for a long term. Shedeur can move up the depth chart, but this is what Stefanski's telling us right now, and he's not even focused on it, apparently. Coming up, I have one concern about Shedeur Sanders getting a chance to play in Cleveland. I think the most likely scenario is that he will, but you're not going to want to miss what I think could hold him back. First, I want to tell you about this awesome deal. A Browns hoodie is over 50% off. I actually literally bought this hoodie myself. You guys have probably seen me wear it here on the show. It's getting colder in Cleveland, folks. It's fall weather. It'll be winter weather before you know it. You're going to want a nice little Cleveland Browns hoodie to snuggle up in. It's soft. It's comfortable. Great material. And like I said, it's an amazing deal if you go to chatsports.com/Browns hoodie. This thing was $70. It's now $25. It's such a steal. Like I said, I bought it myself. You can get it any size that fits you. Chatsports.com/Browns hoodie. An easy link for you to get to. I'll put it in the description and in the comment section so you can get to it easily. Click it, buy it, rep the Cleveland Browns this winter. Okay, Mary Kay gave us an update about Deshaun Watson. I know, jump scare. Forgot about him. He's not expected to have his practice window open this week, but he's eligible after 4 weeks of being on the physically unable to perform list. So if Cleveland wanted to, they could actually open up Deshaun Watson's practice window right now. They're not expected to do so. I think there's still some rehab that needs to be done. Stefanski said that he's rehabbing as well and it's progressing well. Watson's been posting videos of him working out and running drills. It's looking like his Achilles is fine. So it kind of starts to beg the question, will we see Watson again in Cleveland? He's got such a big contract the Browns are paying him. Now, the owner did call it a big swing and miss with Deshaun Watson. So there's a chance we never have to see him play it down for the Browns. And you have to consider that he only stopped playing due to injury. So there is also a chance that he is Cleveland's starting quarterback still, because he was playing awfully, and the Browns just kept starting him game after game after game. The only reason they stopped is because he got hurt. Now, he's also guaranteed $200 million, so it's such a waste of money if you don't play him. I think that's why Cleveland kept starting him, is because they felt trapped. They felt locked into it. Stefanski, whether he wanted to start him or not, probably had some pressure from the front office to keep him in because of all the money they were paying him. So who's to say he won't be the starter again? Based on Cleveland's actions in the past, they continuously rolled with Deshaun Watson. So by the time Shedeur's ready to get in, what if Watson's back? It could hurt our rookie's chances to get playing time this year. Specifically Shedeur, because we already know Gabriel's going to get the start and can start for the next few weeks. But that's my concern, is if Watson would overtake that role. I don't think we'll have to worry about it. To me, it's been there, done that with Deshaun Watson. You tried it. The owner called it a swing and miss. It didn't work in Cleveland. Now, I will say, at this point, he's probably better than Flacco. I mean, I was getting ready to say put him in after watching Flacco throw his 6th interception. Probably would be better for the offense than Flacco. But, don't let nostalgia twist your thinking. He was really bad for Cleveland before he got hurt. Like, it was awful to watch. And we were screaming for him to head to the bench. What do you guys think? Will Deshaun Watson return? Will he play this season? Comment below if you think Deshaun Watson is going to play for the Browns again. I think that would be a long shot, but it is certainly possible based on Cleveland's actions in the past and how much they owe him. It's a waste not to play him. But he's terrible, so hopefully we don't have to worry about this. Folks, lot of great news and insight on this video. I know they're controversial, polarizing topics, but we have to talk about it. Everyone's buzzing about it. You can head over to Twitter if you want to see what I'm talking about. Follow me at Joey070. Comment your opinions. I love to talk Cleveland Browns football with everybody. So go over there, give me a follow. I'll chop it up with you guys on that platform. And we appreciate everybody for tuning into the Browns Report. Make sure you subscribe to be the smartest Browns fan in the room. And we will see you very shortly here on the Browns Report.